Mercer County. In Princeton, there's concern from county leaders and citizens alike, that is, over a lack of crosswalks at the Mercer County Courthouse. Our Robert Castillo is taking a closer look at this issue and brings us more on concerns over pedestrian safety and what's stopping crosswalks from being installed.
There's growing concerns from county leaders and citizens over the lack of crosswalks leading to the Mercer County Courthouse. Jean White says she and her husband were making their way to the building recently, and she says she was nearly run over trying to cross 2 lanes of traffic.
I was so angry. I'm like, I don't know why people, either they don't see that sign or they're so used to it being there they don't pay any attention to it. And I think it would really help if there was a crosswalk clearly painted on the road, or at least some lights on the crosswalk signs.
Mercer County Commissioner Greg Puckett says there were painted crosswalks on both sides of the courthouse at one point. He says the West Virginia Department of Highways paved around the courthouse 3 years ago, and now all that's left are signs that are seemingly for looks.
We've had a lot of discussions with the Department of Highways, and because the highway runs all the way around the courthouse, because that crosswalk does not sit at an intersection, we are not allowed to put those back again.
Puckett says he's nearly been hit himself trying to cross the roadways around the courthouse. He says the lack of crosswalks is concerning, but says the speed of drivers also poses a threat to pedestrians.
We're looking for additional ways to help slow the traffic. I think that's one of the main issues. You know, as long as we can figure out a way to get people to slow down coming around the circle. We are going to be putting in new sidewalks here in the next year, which maybe can allow for these signs to be put into the ground.
We reached out to officials with the West Virginia Department of Highways. We received a response from State Traffic Engineer Ted Whitmore that reads in part, quote, "The WVDOH has not put crosswalks across Scott Street or Alvis Street because pedestrians would have to look out from behind parked cars to see any oncoming traffic. The WVDOH is in the process of upgrading ADA ramps throughout the state of West Virginia. Future ADA upgrades may make more crosswalks feasible at the Mercer County Courthouse." Here for you in Princeton, I'm Robert Castillo, WVVA News.
Thank you for that report, Robert. We will continue to stay on top of any improvements slated to be made at the Mercer County Courthouse that would involve crosswalks.